In the meantime, we do have some questions here that I'm going to present to the speakers and ask the other member of the panel if they would care to comment on it. So since Melissa was our first speaker, we're going to start with her. Melissa, how was the FTC Safeguards Rule recently updated regarding service providers?
Thanks, Sal. So the FTC rule updated the requirements for the Written Information Security Program, and there are two service provider requirements. The third and updated requirement is periodic assessment of service providers, and that requirement actually begins on December 9th, 2022.
Very good, Sandeep. But before I go to an independent question for you, is there anything that you'd like to comment about the FTC Safeguards Rule and updating it?
I can only say that as part of an effective third-party risk management program, what this means for all the companies out there is you have to have an effective ongoing monitoring system, which involves repeating the assessments on a periodic basis, on a risk-appropriate periodic basis, so that you can actually meet this requirement from the FTC.
Fair enough. Okay, Sandeep, here's an independent question for you. And Melissa, we'll ask you if you have any thoughts in this area too after Sandeep replies. Sandeep, I'm basically an army of one. Is there something I can do to not take on all this assessment work myself?
Great question. I think one of my last slides alluded to one approach that actually many of our customers use. Now, obviously, being an army of one, you want a technology that can automate your third-party risk management program to the extent possible. And so you can use various strategies, use the appropriate tool that has the automation capability, and then also incorporate external content that you can use in lieu of some of the risk area due diligence that you don't have to use direct outreach to third parties for, but then eventually also use an external partner to help you do some of the time-consuming activities. And so again, the tool should be capable to support an external third party coming in and acting on behalf of you to conduct these assessments. So these are some of the strategies that I covered during my presentation that you should consider in helping you achieve the goals of your third-party risk management program appropriately.
Okay, Melissa, I just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything you'd like to comment on about the level of assessment work required?
Sure. So I'm just going to add, and it's where sort of the comment of Sandeep just now about external advisors, that could include attorneys. And without trying very hard not to be self-serving, but it will sound self-serving, I note that it's not everyone, but some insurance, cyber insurance questionnaires ask, have you had qualified legal counsel review your vendor agreements? So in other words, if you've reviewed them as an army of one yourself and you're not an attorney, and if it's not outside counsel, you may have to answer that question. So be aware of cyber liability insurance application questions. But I am seeing a number of them ask, have you had qualified legal counsel, not just assess the vendor agreements, but if you have your own template, have they assessed or assisted with that?